recording as always. So welcome to another live trading session, guys. This one is completely free. So what we're going to go through in this session is I'm just going to look at all the pairs that I'm potentially going to trade for today. I'm going to do some top-down analysis. So I'll go through and break down everything from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. We'll look for some entries. We'll go over market structure, and we'll use some of our technical analysis tools. So as you can see here, we got channels, we'll use fibs, trend lines, support and resistance, and we've got our moving averages as well. So definitely a lot of lessons to be learned in this session. This is recorded and it will be posted. More than a month, feels good to be back. What's up, Taha? Welcome back. So this will be posted on YouTube afterwards, and we will do a giveaway. So make sure you guys put in the chat your Discord name, and I'll remind you throughout the session. Make sure you put your Discord name in the chat so you guys can get in on the giveaway. We'll do like a $25 giveaway here. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to do all of the major pairs here. We're going to get started with DXY. So you guys that don't know, DXY is just the dollar index. So it is just the value of the US dollar right here. We always get started with DXY because DXY is just a good tool to use when we're looking at all these major pairs. So obviously we're trading everything based against USD. What's up, Mohammed? I think Nick just joined. What's up, Nick? Guess you unmuted in here. What's good? Let's go. Video.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday.
What's up? Were you sleeping, bro?
No, there's a wood chipper outside my house, so it might be pretty loud.
Oh, no, you're good. All right,
It might be internet.
we're just taking a look at DXY. So yesterday, this thing fell off pretty hard. I'm just going to start all the way up on the monthly time frame. So last month closed with this evening star. So evening star indicates that we could see further bearish movement. This is obviously a seller's pattern right here. We are at this key level. So previously we've came to this level, as you can see here, bounced off, a lot of buyers stepped in, rejection here. And if we even go back further, we could see here rejection. So we're looking at this level as a key level. You know, whether this bounces to the upside or continues to move to the downside, we're just going to base that on price action. So right here on this monthly time frame, things are still looking very much bearish on DXY. So let's just bump down to the weekly time frame. So we'll move through time frames here. So weekly time frame, let's just look at how all this materialized. So we had this huge bearish engulfing here. As you can see, moving averages still being maintained right here to the downside, red over blue, and we're below the 200 day. So bearish on this time frame as well. Down to the daily, same thing, below the moving averages, 200 day, red over blue right here. We are at a low point, so we could see some sort of pullback right here, but again, you know, we're just basing things on price action. Price action is very much bearish right now, guys. So continuing with that sentiment. So that's DXY, just bearish overall. Whether we come back up, retest this weekly level, you know, we'll see what happens. But it's just at a low point right now. Sellers are definitely in control. So that being said, let's move over to NZD USD. Let's bump up to the monthly time frame. So going into this week, we saw this obviously last month closed extremely bullish in here. Little wick at the top, but nothing crazy. So tons of buyers stepping in. On the monthly, we're still below this 200 day. So this is like the last line of defense here. And going into this week, we dropped our analysis on Sunday. I'm anticipating this thing to continue to move into this level, into this 200 day level up here. And this is also just a whole entire zone up here. So a lot of sellers are sitting up here waiting. As you can see, you know, we're not there yet. We're right here. So let's bump down time frames to the weekly time frame. Momentum is very bullish, crossed above this 200 day. We were looking at structure here for a long ass time in a downtrend. So lower low, lower high right here, lower low, or retesting this low, lower high here, lower low, lower high, and then we pushed to a new low. And this thing came all the way up to retest this level. We had this marked with our random line. and then it broke above. So we were expecting it to reverse here, ended up breaking above, broke right through this level as well, this monthly resistance level. And now, as you can see, we pushed to the upside. So in order to get in on some sort of entry on this, let's just move down to the daily. Again, daily, very bullish above the 200-day here, which makes sense, lines up with the weekly. And then all the way down to the 4 hour. So 4 hour time frame, guys, is very bullish. As you can see here, we haven't had a retracement though in a little while. So we haven't had any sort of pullback in a little while. Ideally, we want to get in on the next higher low. As you can see here, this thing pulled back and then it broke above again. This is when buying opportunities really stepped into the market. And then this thing, if we go down to the 1 hour, 1 hour, let's just look at market structure real quick. So we had, I'm even just going to trace this down and just do a little example for you guys. So this 1 hour time frame has been trending bullish for a long ass time. This thing has just been in an uptrend, and we actually got in on a little order on this time frame. So this last part is to be seen. We got in on order on this time frame early in this week in the signals, just one of the signals we put out, the only signal we put out this week so far. And I just want to look at, so let's just break this down. We'll bring out our fibs, guys. So this is very clearly an uptrend. So every time we fib this, 38.2 is met at the least. So that's a higher low here until we break through 0%. Then this becomes right here a new high, came down to 78.6, broke 0%. And then this is when we would refib. So if you guys are ever confused about using fibs, what to do, just draw out the chart using this like line tool, this path tool, and then bring on your fibs and take a look at structure. So as you can see here, we've got, oh shit, thought that was you, Nick. As you can see here, we've got 0%, then we came to 61.8, pushed to a new high, negative 27, brought out our fibs right here, fib it again, hit 50%. And then most recently, guys, we hit, let's bring on the candlesticks, bring on the moving averages again. So this was the recent move that we got in on. We had this pullback right here, and I'll even fib this. This is our previous high or low. We could fib all the way through to our new high right there. Boom, we pulled back to around the 61.8 level. And then we entered literally right here based on this candle. So we had this candle moving through the moving averages right here, bullish engulfing 61.8 level. This is the 1 hour, so this is just an entry time frame. The best levels are 61.8 and 38.2 to look at. Someone just said 50% is a good level. So 61.8 and 38.2 are going to be the best levels. And then basically we had an entry like right around here. We had our stops right down here, and we were targeting at least 2 to 1 up into this area. Ideally, long term, we're targeting this high, as we said, all the way up here, that 200-day on the weekly. But this thing is going to trend. So basically, we had a 1 to 3 order. So we put in, we're up 1 to 3. At this point, it's pulling back towards the entry now. We could do one of two things. You either close at the entry or continue to maintain this until it actually does break structure, because we are still in this uptrend that's going on right now. We could even bring on a trend line here. We've got our 200-day down here. So we're very much still within this uptrend. And if anything, we could look for a potential buy again until this is broken. So this is our support level right here. Until this is broken, we're still going to look for buy opportunities. So if we see something similar, and let me just zoom in again on this, make it look a little better. So if we see something similar to this, come down, find support, push through the moving averages here, then we will look to buy again, simply put stops below that new high or low that formed. And then once again, we'll be targeting that high point up here, because that's where we're looking for price to push into all the way up on the higher time frame. So, and this is the current trade idea. So we're looking to go long. So right in here. And I'll drop this in our premium analysis. So guys, all the analysis covered in here will be dropped in the premium analysis This just shows during the day what me and Nick are looking for. As you can see, we had the previous NU buy opportunity, and then the follow up as to what went down. So that's NU. Let's go over now to USEF. Yeah, like Brian said, 38. So 38.2 and 618. As you can see on my chart right here, I've got them highlighted, in different colors. So this is definitely the golden levels here that we're looking for on reversal. And yeah, so not gonna get too much into fibs right now, but let's go to USEF. We'll bump all the way up. This thing is dumping like crazy. Let's bump all the way up. And this is really to be expected. You'll see in a second, why this thing is dumping, or not why, but the logic behind structure. So we just take some of this off. So monthly time frame, guys, bearish. Red over blue, below the 200 day. Still below this level, very much bearish. We were hitting this support level here, but obviously price action showed us that this level was not that significant to hold, at least not yet. So down to the weekly now, again, bearish, lower low, lower high on this pullback, lower low here. Moving averages, red over blue, all the way. So this thing very clearly in a bearish trend. Look at price action here. Had this bearish engulfing. Then the next week, failed to engulf. The following week, doji. So this was a good sign to start shorting at this level. And last week, I believe last week we were putting out short signals for USEF. If only we held them through the weeks. I guess some people could have if you just looked at the analysis. But down to the daily, we were bearish all the way on this again. Daily structure, bearish, form this lower high, push down, form this consecutive lower highs here. And then, last week, this is when we started to short this. Right as all of this happened, we had the cross, and then all these dojis started to form. And then going into this week, why would we start to short this thing again? Pretty much we had this candle, just a lot of conviction that sellers are stepping in, no wick at the bottom here. And from there, we could have been sitting on this 1 hour time frame, and the 1 hour all the way from this candle. So I highlighted this candle. It's like a good exercise to do, because bearish engulfings on the higher time frames will break down to breaks of structure on the lower time frame. So this thing's obviously very choppy, but let's just focus on this area right here. We had this push up. We formed these two higher lows right here. So we found support at these two levels. And then what did that bearish engulfing do? It broke through these levels right here, right? And then we had this first pullback. If we were to bring out our fibs, we could fib this. We could see 38.2 was hit. We had this first entry opportunity right here. So this is like a classic entry that we teach, just bearish engulfing through the moving averages. This, you want to get in on here because it's just showing you momentum. So we would have put stops right above this lower high, more safely, above this 200 day. And then we would start targeting negative 27, negative 618, or we'd bump up, target our higher levels. But that was the first entry opportunity. And then we pushed down. So we pushed down, we formed a new low, pulled back again. This was another entry opportunity right here, just very simple. And things are starting to move a bit better now. The election definitely had price action, like just playing games on us. But things are definitely moving a lot smoother now, which is, good to come, good signs to come. So we had that entry opportunity, pushed to the downside, pulled all the way back to this level. And then again, just staying on the 1 hour, just looking at 1 hour structure. We had two opportunities to enter right here. And the reason why we're down in this time frame is the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly is all bearish. The monthly is all bearish. So all you guys need to do once you get all the time frames to line up is just sit on this lower time frame and just literally look for entries. That's all you need to do. So right here we had this momentum breaking through the moving averages. Then we had the retest evening star right there. So that's another entry. Would have put stops either aggressively here or conservatively at 40 pips. And then as you can see, this thing is definitely moving really well right now to the downside. So that's just a little trade review, just going over where to potentially enter on this. At the moment, if we just bump up to the 4 hour, to the daily, I'm not crazy about entering anything right now. If anything, I'm looking to enter on the pullback here. You know, if I was trying to just do some sort of low risk move, definitely wouldn't risk a full position on that. But you know, right now there's nothing to short. It's just at a low on every time frame. 4 hour at a low, 1 hour it's at a low, 30-minute it's at a low. As you can see, we just formed this lower high right here. So on the 30-minute, we pulled back, formed this lower high. Even on the 1 hour, this is a good lower high that formed. So basically, we need to respect this level. So if we're going to continue to look for entries, it has to come in below this level, and it has to be similar to these previous entries. So I'm just going to use this bars pattern right here. So we're going to need to see some sort of pullback, moving averages cross, and then crossover again and move to the downside. So that's what we're looking for on USEF. You know, nothing doing at the moment, but I'm still going to mark this one up. I'm going to change NU to this color as well. Let's go over to GU. So this thing is finally dropping. It's been just going crazy in this zone right now. So let's bump up. Let's keep in mind. So DXY is, you know, as we just went over, is bearish. You know, it is at a low point. It does have room to push back up, but according to technicals, DXY is very bearish right now. Say the news comes out today, something, you know, crazy, it could always push the dollar back to the upside. It could always go bullish. Say like a stimulus bill gets struck in or something.
Which it might.
Look at what's up.
Which is looking pretty likely given the circumstance.
Yeah, that's exactly why I mentioned it. They're saying yesterday there's some bill that just got put in. You know, they're trying. They're trying right now really hard to get something done. And as soon as they pass that, it's obviously bullish for the dollar because they're just going to inject freaking cash into the system. So into all consumers and everything. So it's bullish for the economy for sure. But for now, you know, look at GU on this weekly time frame. We are at these highs. So we've hit these high points 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now we're coming up to this level again. And look how we're forming price action here. Last week, large wick. This week, forming a doji. I know it's the middle of the week, but you know, if this thing closes even remotely like last week, you know, it's just signs of reversal at the top. Down to the daily. Have a look on Apple and soon. What does that mean? Oh,
The chart.
oh shit. True. All right. So on this daily time frame, we've got this supply zone up here. So supply zone, guys, is like the last level defense. We need, or this is a good area to take sells in. This is a good area to take sells in. Previously, this thing obviously tanked to the downside, pushed all the way down to this 200-day level. So price is coming up to retest that level, had some rejection here, zoomed back up, then we fell off again. So we're looking for sells, to be honest, right now. But we need the 1 hour to break before, personally, I start to sell this. Now, we can line this off, this random line. If we just focus on this area right now, you know, ideally on the daily, we would wait for some sort of engulfing as low as the 4 hour, some sort of evening star, which happened right here. So we have some confirmation here. We have some confirmation here on the 4 hour. But as I come to the 1 hour, I want to stay on this time frame because I want to be really certain that this transition is valid before I do anything, because this is just based on like one confirmation on the weekly zone, or this daily supply zone, I mean. So ideally, guys, I'm looking for structure to break. So I need this to break some sort of retest right here before going to the downside. So as you can see, we're like testing this 200-day on the 1 hour. This is good. You know, we just broke below here. This wick is not good. You know, I don't like to enter on anything like this. So GU, we're just looking for a push, a break of this level, a solid break. That first pullback, we'll be patient, wait for that first pullback, and then we will certainly get in on shorts on this. If that breaks, if this thing starts to move all the way above the supply zone, that's when I'll start to look for buys. Like, see how previously moved above the supply zone and then just tanked, didn't form any sort of high or low or anything. So didn't give us anything to buy on there. So here right now, the idea is this will break support, pull back, look for rejection, go to the downside. So that's GU. Again, I will post this in the premium analysis today. Let's go over now to EU. Let's bump up to the monthly. So this one's looking similar to, I believe it was USEF, or this is UCAT, I mean. So this is looking similar to USEF. We have this evening star, very much the same. This is telling me more sellers than buyers at the moment. Moving averages are crossed. We've got the weekly time frame, our weekly key level right here. So as you can see, we had some rejection here, rejection here. So this is still testing this level. This is the monthly time frame, guys. This is still testing this level until this closes below. This level is still just support right here. So let's just bump down to the weekly. Weekly, everything's bearish. Moving average is bearish. 200 days bearish. Price action closed last week bearish. So a lot of sellers are in the market at the moment. Daily time frame, just looking at structure here. Let's fib here. So this is our fib, main fib that we have. Hit 618, push down, hit 50%, push down. So now we're just continuing this bearish movement to the downside. It's important to note, guys, that on our main, this is our main structure for our main time frame for structure right now. And on this time frame, we're just at a low. So this thing has tons of room where it could pull back and push up and still maintain this downtrend that it's in. So we just want to be wary of that. We don't want to, load up on shorts all the way at the bottom here when we are at a low point on our main time frame that we're looking at structure. Because ideally, like the way me and Nick teach is we teach the swing trade based on the daily and the 4 hour. So when we're trying to swing trade, the best place to take the entries is obviously on the lower highs on this time frame. But that being said, there's still opportunities to enter on this if we just try to continue to ride this lower time frame trend. So the 1 hour, like we did on NU, this thing is just bearish all the way. It's been bearish, forming lower highs. These are all entries, guys, right here. Ever since the end of last week, this thing has just been bearish all the way. All entries coming in right here. I'm just going to highlight a bunch of them for you guys. Momentum here took us to the downside. Had this one. When was that actually? December 1st. So that was yesterday. So there actually was some good opportunities yesterday to get in on this. Look at where we are now. We're pushing up, very similar to, look at when the moving averages push blue over red. We just pushed blue over red. I'm going to take this off. And basically, guys, we're going to look to enter on this on any sort of lower high. This is a good probability trade. Every time frame's bearish. We're below the 200-day. We have a lot of confirmation here. So anytime I'm going to bring on something similar to this, all we need is a pullback, ideally 38.2, 618, one of these areas. As soon as we cross through that moving average, if it's a nice setup, like if it's not, let's see, we had something like this over here, this long wick, then the following candle, bearish. Like this would leave me weary, this long ass wick right here. So we need something clean. Here momentum, just move through, bearish, pull. If we were uncertain, pulled back, form this next confirmation. This is a very simple pattern. Like if you put all these together, it's just a bearish variation. Could have put stops up here, would have rode into some profits for sure on that. So just very high probability trade right now on the 1 hour. So yeah, we'll wait for some sort of lower high. That's UCAD. Let's go over to EU. This is going to be the last pair that at least I go over. And so we went over this on Sunday. When did this open? So it opened like this. Going into this week, we're not magicians here, but we did mark this level, this daily level. This was resistance. We were waiting. I've been saying this literally, if you're on the live sessions the last 2 weeks, we're waiting to get above this level to buy. This is the level of resistance on the daily time frame. As long as we're below here, we're selling. And then what happened? Daily time frame, obviously overall we're bullish. 4 hour time frame, bullish right here. We broke above that level, came back, and then we had this bullish, test right here So as we teach in the course, this is a tested level, never breaks back below. So this is solid support. And if we hit the 1 hour, the 1 hour time frame was starting to trend bullish, form this high, higher low, pushed up. And then this is the same situation we're talking about, guys. We had the push through the moving averages like right here. And then if we're uncertain, we wait for the confirmation. This was our confirmation right there. And we're just getting in on momentum on this lower time frame. We're lining up with the higher time frame, and then we're just riding momentum on the lower time frame. And that's pretty much our entry rule. So what is the next move on EU? Honestly, EU is just in no man's land right now. It's pushing up. If I look left, we do have this level right here that I could even mark. I might even mark this. We have this level, so it's currently testing this resistance level right now. But there's not much to do with this. There's not much to do with this at the moment. I'm going to leave this one down on on red. It's just going to be down on my watch list right now. And we're just gonna have to wait. We're just gonna have to wait some sort of pullback, maybe on the 1 hour. This thing starts to pull back, retest this level, and then we get the same thing, bullish through the moving averages. But we're just very high up. We're above the 200-day. So yeah, EU is not something I'll be looking to trade today. So last but not least, let's just hit GU. So GU on the weekly time frame is bearish all the way, below the 200-day, below this trend line. A lot of buyers have been stepping in. Look at the moving averages. They are crossing, but I am still maintaining my overall bearish bias. And, look at this wick. So this wick just has me, I don't want to really take buys. I'm not convinced to take buys at the moment. If anything, I'm looking at the daily. We're retesting this level that forms. This is 1, 2 times found resistance here. And as you can see, today we're finding resistance at this level again. So let's break this down to an entry time frame because we've got sentiment down. So pretty much, guys, just zoning in on this area. We need this level to break. So without even going to the 1 hour, I need this daily candle to push much lower. Ideally, some sort of variation here on the daily, bearish variation. And if that happens, this will be a nice 1 hour break. 200-day will break. Maybe I'll take a more of a breakout style entry on this one. Just get in on it right away and throw stops above here. We'll see. But this is the idea for GJ right here. Boom. Looking for this thing to go short. So that's all the pairs that I have for you guys. NU, USEF, GU, UCAD, EU, and GJ. I'm going to go ahead and while Nick's going to go and start his analysis, I'm going to post all the analysis I just went over in this premium analysis channel. This is included in the premium membership. It's also just a one-off. If you want to do just the premium analysis, just $7 one-time fee. And yeah, we post the premium analysis in here, and then we post the signals in here when they are ready. And we're looking forward to getting some more signals out for you guys. So I'm gonna pass this over to Nick. Make sure to put your Discord name in the chat for the giveaway. I see nobody's done that. So if you want to in the giveaway, just put your name in the chat. And I'm gonna pass this over to you.
All right, cool. All right, so we're just going to do a quick little recap on DXY. Overall, Angelo covered the general analysis for it. We know we are bearish first, and that we do need to see a lot to kind of change the trend here. So we're not going to spend too much time on DXY, but just enough for a quick recap. Yeah, very much bearish. Currently a key support right near this monthly zone. Looking for either continuation, maybe structure formation, and then a drop. But yeah, at this level, we really just want to see some sort of lower high. Right, so we're still very much in this monthly zone. We are at a low. It is testing minor resistance here, this prior low. So maybe we'll get a pullback to 38.2 or at most 61.8, which is a good confluence level where our 1 hour level is. So this is just essentially the two scenarios that we're looking for to continue with this.
You got the beanie on?
Yeah, I decided to.
Dude, the beanies look nice.
Show it on stream, right, guys? What do you think? This is new. We just came out with this. We just had these made. Forex League beanie. It's warm.
Dude,
My
that
head's
thing's
warm.
looking fucking prime. Holy shit.
Oh, right? Not bad. The logo's a good size.
Yeah,
They come in
fine.
a bunch of colors. I like this one and the orange one.
Let's get it.
But yeah, not bad. So this is essentially what we're looking for. Either we're just looking to, well, first we're looking too short, right? Obviously, we're looking to continue with the bearish trend here until we see a significant break. That break would have to occur up here above this 1 hour, ideally above the 200 as well, to really get a to get some confidence in this change of trend here, if this were to happen. And then we'd confirm it with a higher low, and then we would comfortably be long on DXY at that point. But until price action breaks through this 1 hour and then this resistance level up here closer to 92.5, it's still very much bearish, right? Lower highs can form all the way up to here. They can form anywhere in here. So just look for this pullback, ideally MA pullback with an MA cross, confirming a lower high with strong bearish setups. That would be enough. And then we'd be short on DXY again. All right, so that's just a quick recap on DXY. Let's move on to AU, first pair that I'll be covering for you guys. Daily time frame to start here. Just going to get an overlook on the overall trend, see what's happened, see where we're potentially going. All right, so AU very much bearish for a while. Here's that Corona spike. This is a good starting point. We'll kind of just work from here. Corona happened, huge fall off in price action. It did take out some major levels, but found support at this monthly. Pulled back with a huge correction, crazy momentum, and actually blows right through this monthly resistance, gives us our weekly break of structure, thus changing the trend to bullish. Okay, so we are now into this new range. As we can see, we're above this monthly. Next target would be this weekly resistance. Okay, so price action comes into this new range, forms an ascending channel, fails, gives us our daily break, comes down, tests the monthly and the weekly, gives us double bottom, and then starts to rally on election news, breaking back above this daily. So at this point, we're going to drop to the 4 hour and kind of identify some trade scenarios based on current price action. So here we are on the 4 hour. Here was that double bottom on the daily that we saw. Election news had pushed it through this daily resistance. Then we started getting some higher lows and trending bullish again. So at this point, we have a pretty steady trend, lots of higher lows, breaking through key resistance levels, testing again as support, giving us more higher lows. So it's forming a pretty healthy bullish trend. So from here, we have two potential scenarios, right? Obviously, we want to continue with the overall sentiment, so we're looking to buy first. But according to our rules, we want to buy on a higher low, with tons of confirmation. So right here is looking like a good potential entry, either at the exact moment here. If this rejects and gives us this long wick, and then you see on a 1 hour some sort of like bullish setup right here. So let's say this gives us an bullish engulfing through the MAs, closes up here. You could enter on that. You could honestly enter on that because this is an MA pullback. We're rejecting off the 200 EMA. We're getting a higher low on the 1 hour, getting the cross, getting that confirmation. You could then take that entry. And then let's go back to the 4 hour for targets. We'd be looking to get towards the negative 27. Okay, so this is what it would look like essentially if we took this long right here. So let's say it engulfed somewhere like that. Looking to get to the 27, 62.5 pips. Stop loss would be one that makes sense. So at max, 30 pips to get 60, just over 60. So 2-to-1 fits the rules. Looking like a pretty good trade. Just need to see those confirmations. Naturally, your risk reward will get better if this pulls back even more and then gives us an entry signal closer to support down here. So you could have a trade potentially looking like this, well over 2-to-1, closer to 3-to-1, and potentially even better. Okay, so this is what we're looking for first. Okay, we're just going to ride the trend. This makes the most sense. This is the closest we are to an entry. This scenario right here. Okay, this long setup, just looking for a higher low. But if this does go short, what do we need to get into a short opportunity? We essentially need to see a break of this support right here, pretty much at 73.4, 0.734, right? Need to see a break of that. Some sort of lower high below that level, confirmed with bearish variations. So that would be enough to then enter short, target towards the lower of this range at 0.727. Okay, but until this happens, until we see this significant break of support, we're definitely long first, and we'll be looking for that setup to play out. All right, so that's AU. Pretty straightforward. I mean, this is clear structure, good market movement, pretty easy to follow. So yeah, I like AU. AU's been paying out the last few weeks. It's been really nice. All right, so let's move on to AJ. Again, daily time frame. It's just where we're going to start. Take a look at where price action's been, where we could potentially see price action going. So very bearish overall. The most key level here is this monthly level where we moved through back here in May 2019. We broke through it, retested twice, and then dropped. This is, again, Corona news right here. So let's start from this point. After Corona, we had a huge correction. It rallied right into this monthly zone and then held. We did have a couple false breakouts, some failed, higher lows trying to move above the monthly. Didn't happen. Instead, it just rejected multiple times. We actually got a nice bearish channel here. Found some support at our weekly level once this lower high was broken, which is now acting as support. And then started rallying again on some election news. So only thing we can do at this point is drop down, get a closer look. We're pretty much done with our analysis on the daily. We know that we are definitely more bullish right now. So yeah, let's just drop down and get into it. Let's just see what current price action is doing. Here we are on the 4-hour. Here's that descending channel. Here's the price action finding support at the weekly, and then rallying off of an election news. So off that rally, we formed a flag, and it completed the flag, pushed higher towards our daily prior high, found resistance right there, gave us a triangle, which is usually a continuation pattern. It's just the, it could be a flag too, just a sideways flag, whatever. But either way, it's a continuation pattern. It's showing that there's an impulse move. The market's then taking a break. It's, pretty much catching its breath and then getting ready for the next push, which we're seeing happen pretty much right now. So we are on the 4-hour here, and I am going to drop to the 1-hour in a second. But first, I just want to show you guys what's happening here. So we have a flag, the flag completed, right? That was a good buy opportunity there. Rule of thumb, target the height of the pattern. So that finds us about 160 pips off the break, which is right here, which means we still have quite a ways to go, technically, for that pattern to complete. So we'll find ourselves around 77.6, closer to our resistance level, right here at 77.5. So that's nice. There's some confidence behind that target, right? But now we have this triangle, and now it's breaking out. So we're looking to enter on a break and retest. Next step for this is to confirm the retest, confirm the higher low above this rectangle. So I'm going to drop to the 1-hour on this pair just because it's that close to entry. And, we kind of need to drop down and zoom in as much as we can. So these are the two scenarios. The first one, obviously, is just going to be a buy. We're trying to ride the trend. We're looking to get in on a higher low, and that's going to happen right here. So what I want to see at this particular level is a little bit of consolidation with some sort of MA cross on like a bullish engulfing. That would be absolutely perfect. Morningstar, bullish variation, anything like that, you could take an entry right in here, because this is damn close. This is damn close to an entry. So this is where your entry would be, somewhere like that, crossing through the MAs. Let's plot the trade. Looking to get about, let's just call it 50, just for nice whole number. Call it 50. Stop loss is going to be in this rectangle. They're about 15 to 20 pips. Let's call it 20 just to be a little conservative, minimize our risk. And look at that. We're 2.5 to 1. Let me just adjust that. 2.5 to 1. Great risk to reward. Great trade. Not even that many pips, just 50, which is great. This is a nice 2.5%, risking 1%. This would be a really good trade. So that's what we're looking at. Looking for this to play out. Nice little transition here, little higher low. And this will be posted in premium analysis as this gets real close to entry. I'll probably do that. I'll put this chart out immediately after this webinar. And then I'll follow along. I'll follow up with updates as it develops. All right, so that's AJ. Oh, wait, real quick. If this goes back into the rectangle, this long scenario is then invalid. And, we're looking to make a play maybe off this monthly zone, because that's where I could see price action heading to. If it does fall back into this rectangle, look for price action to at least get to this 200 EMA to act as support, or just see how it reacts. All right. But until that happens, we're looking long, looking to buy off this support here and target towards 775. All right. So that's AJ. Let's move on to UJ. Always a fun one. Daily time frame to start, guys. Overall, super bearish. One of the few pairs where I could pretty much just summarize this as just overall bearish on every time frame. Yeah, it's just the momentum's pretty crazy. So I'm just going to start here at this giant descending triangle, right? Key support being 1045. Lots of lower highs leading up to where we are now. So very, very bearish, guys, and has been continuing with this trend even more recently. So very, very bearish. Let's drop to the 4-hour. Get a closer look at current price action. So here we are again, right? Just tons and tons of lower highs, lower lows. Price action just getting slammed into this 1045 handle, but it keeps making lower highs. So we keep getting lower highs. We keep moving through support. So right now we are just kind of dancing around the 1045 handle, which is very, very significant, right? So this is key support since 2016 on that descending triangle, as we saw. And now it's kind of acting as key resistance. So this is how price action reacts here is going to determine a lot for us. It's going to determine if this is going to finally drop down to, a major support level like 103, or it's going to break back to the upside. So this, where it is right now, we're forming a double top. The 200 EMA is right here. I would love to see this kind of complete as an M pattern, get below this 1 hour. And then I'm only interested in taking an entry on a lower high below this 1 hour, right where this yellow box is. Granted, you could take a pretty aggressive entry on an MA cross like up here or something. That's on you if you want to take that trade. There's just a lot more risk with this because the 1 hour is right here. Didn't really break anything. That's just a confidence trade entirely if you were to take this trade. But it's there. I've done it before. I've seen people do it and make good profit on it. It's just a really, really early entry. So conservative entry would be this again on the lower high below this 1 hour. Once we can confirm that transition, then we're short. It would look something like this. And then let's drop lower, getting to about 60 some odd pips. It's called 60. And then this would probably be about a 30 pip stop. So 2 to 1. 2 to 1, still very good. Another trade opportunity for you guys. There's a lot this week. Definitely some good setups. So this is one, right? And then of course you would manage it accordingly, looking to target into the negative 61.8 fib level and key support at 103. So could be a really nice trade, well over 3 to 1 if this fully extends down to this support. So we'll see. However, long scenarios, what needs to happen? First thing we need to see is a break of this resistance right here, pretty much at, what is this, 104.7, 104.75, and then a higher low above that. Essentially this orange trade path right here. Some sort of significant move through these two resistance levels, some sort of higher low in there with some bullish setups and then enter on. And then we would target higher towards 106, our key resistance level up here. All right, but until that happens, until we see some major breaks, we're fully confident in taking shorts only at this point. All right, so that's UJ. Yeah, this could take a little while to play out. Not quite there yet, but that's all right. That's all right, guys. Let's move on to EJ. This one's actually really fun. I love this type of trade, the setup that we're about to get into, and I'll show you in a second. But it's just so clean, and it's something that GU does a lot, actually. So let's just do a quick recap on the daily. Overall, very bearish, huge descending channel. And then we had a break here. This was the official transition of our weekly. Once this 120.25 zone was broken, right? These are lower highs in there with the 200 EMA kind of acting as resistance. Price action broke through it, then turned the 200 into support, gave us our higher low, nice little transition to enter on right here, and then it rallied. So we are officially bullish, or we were once that weekly zone was broken. And then we rallied into our monthly, got 3 tops there, kind of reversed, started forming a descending channel, found some support at the 200 once again, and then transitioned out of this channel to where we are now. So we're going to drop down to the 4 hour, get a closer look at price action, and kind of see what our scenarios could be. All right, so here is that breakout of the descending channel. Let's just zoom out so you guys can see it. Right, here's the channel. Here's the move through it, higher low, transition, another higher low, and then it started to rally again. Okay, so where we are now is pretty much at key resistance. I mean, this thing has had so much freaking momentum. It's insane. Look at this thing. Look at all these blue candles, guys. There's no wicks on the top sides for the most part. Tons and tons of momentum up until here. These candles are getting smaller. It could hint at a potential weakening of this rally, where we could look for structure to form. So we're going to hope for that. That's okay if it doesn't happen. Price action could just move into this monthly before finding any sort of, rejection. That's fine. We're just going to go based on the information we have now, which is what we're looking at, right? So based on this, we can expect one thing to happen at least, right? Structure to form. We want to see the 38.2 hit, or ideally the 61.8, because that's where previous resistance was. If we drop to the 1 hour, which now, we can do that. We're gonna do that now. So you can see here, this was the previous resistance, right? Nice little structure level lining up with the 61.8. Good little confluence zone. So this would be nice to enter on if price action pulls back all the way to the 61.8, give this rejection, and then maybe some consolidation down here, and then a move through the MAs. That'd be a perfect entry to go long on. And this is a classic break and retest, one that has high momentum. So it's super, super easy to trade. So this has good momentum. So if this does come back, it's got to come back pretty quick. It's going to come back somewhat aggressively, whip to a 38.2 or 61.8, and then we're going to enter on, any sort of, good setup there, reverse MA cross, and so on. So I love this trade. I've made this trade many, many times on GU, where it'll recently break a zone with strong momentum. It'll come right back, hit a zone, and then take off again. So that's essentially what we're waiting for here. Just a quick pullback, followed by continuation in the direction that we're going here, and with good volume. Okay, so we're waiting for that. However, for us to go bearish, we need to see a break back into this lower range. So the start would be a break of 124.8. You want to get below this 200 EMA and then a lower high to form below that as well. More confluence, the better. And then I would have a pretty strong idea that this is changing to a bearish trend. And then I would look to break into this lower channel here, look to get below 124, start making short trades, short opportunities into support. So that's what needs to happen for us to go short. Until that happens, this is the trade we're looking at. But this looks weak to me. This looks like it may be getting weak. So hopefully we see some sort of reversal later today. All right, so that's EJ. And I got one more for you guys. I know how much you guys love it, which is gold. Gold's just the best, right? Everyone trades gold these days. So overall, super bullish. This thing has just been on a roll for a very long time. But let's just zoom into more recent level, 1800. This was kind of the most significant level that we've been looking at for the past few months. We were having a hard time breaking 1800 or even getting to it all the way back here. Tons and tons of consolidation, lots of resistance. It finally broke through it, and once it did, it shot all the way up to 2070. Then started, pulling back, correcting at that point. It gave us this giant descending triangle. Started getting some breaks of structure. Very large descending channel here. Just kind of going bearish based on this daily here, right? Just kind of moving lower and lower, pulling back from this huge rally at 1800. And that's where we are pretty much right now, dancing around 1800. We're finding some support there. The 200 EMA is lining up as well. So let's just drop to the 4 hour, get a closer look at current price action. All right, so very bearish. We were ranging for a while below between 1930, which was our daily breaker structure back here once we broke through support, and then 1875, which was acting as support. So we were just kind of bouncing around, tons of false breakouts to the downside, to the upside, to the downside. It didn't really know where to go, couldn't get any footing until recently, which was over here. We got this lower high below 1875, finally. Then we got a nice bearish setup, pushing price action down towards our support back at 1800. Okay, so that's where we're at now. We found major support near 1800. Now it's pulling back. If we're going to continue with this short, or with this bearish trend, we're looking for structure to form, right? So let me clear this up. Let me just make this super, super, super clean. Okay. All right. So from here, we want to see structure form. First level, 38.2. Obviously, that broke already, right? So this would have been our first area to look for a reversal. Didn't happen. Clearly, we're above it. If anything, it's going to test that support right now off these 200 EMA, off these EMAs, or off these moving averages, rather. And then our next zone would be the 61.8, which is still valid. So we're pretty much looking for rejection in here. And then we're going to look to target down towards our negative 27. Essentially, that's what we're looking for. And this is bearish until this 4-hour zone is broken. So technically, you could look for a lower high anywhere below this 4-hour, below this 200 EMA, and get a good short opportunity. I always like to target these fib levels. So I really want to see a reversal off the 61.8 to really give me a ton of confidence in shorting this. All right, so we'll see how this plays out. We'll wait for it. But essentially, this is bearish as long as it remains below this 4-hour zone, right at 1860. And I'm not interested in taking any long opportunities until I see price action move back into this range and at least above 1875. Okay, so for the time being, this is the trade we're looking at. Looking to go short first, and could be a nice little trade. I mean, there's good momentum here. We'll see. We'll see how gold reacts and DXY reacts. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Quick recap: I did DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. And guys, the ones that are closer to entry, I'm gonna go ahead and put out in premium analysis down here in this channel. For those of you that are members, we'll post them in here. Angelo just dropped his, perfect. So come check those out. I'm about to drop some as well. And as we get closer to entry, we'll jump over to premium signals. Again, for those of you that are members, and we'll give you guys some good trades for this week. All right, but yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Angelo, if you want to add anything. I mean,
Yeah, so just to recap, guys, if you want in on the giveaway, just put in the chat your Discord name. We're going to announce the winner after the call. And then I'm just sharing my screen right now. So we've got, make sure, like Nick said, we're going to do the premium analysis in here. If you guys want in on that, someone just asked me a question. It's a one-time fee, so it's just $7. That's not signals. It's just our analysis waiting for entries. So we're not actually giving you the entry. We're just giving you the analysis. That's $7 one-time fee. If you guys want to learn more, about any of our products, just come over to our website. I'm going to pull it up real quick right here. Go to view products. And again, everything that we have right now, we got the full membership, which was on sale, but now it's back to normal price. We've got the trade copier that's still on sale. So the signals are included in the full membership. The trade copier is our new product. Basically how it works, guys, like real quick, is you connect your account to ours through our application, and we don't get your login information or anything like that. And then we basically, every trade we take will get copied to your account. So it's basically just signals, but you guys don't have to actually enter in on the trades. It does come with a course as well, and it is fully automated. We are manually trading it though on our end. It is FX book verified. Right here I have the dashboard. Right now since it launched last week, we have more data that goes farther back, but last week's when it officially launched, and we're up about 6% on the account. So things are moving really well with the trade copier. If you guys are interested and want in and want to sign up, just shoot me a message after this. And if you have any questions, shoot us a message. We'll continue to keep you guys updated in the Discord. And yeah, so another live session, only free one for this week. Look for more updates just inside this public channel right here. This is where we'll post everything, and in the Telegram. So we'll get the giveaway winner announced, and that's pretty much it for the live session, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day.
yeah, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of Wednesday.
Peace out.